There we go. Couldn't figure out why my camera wasn't on.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Good morning, all.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
I suppose
Hey.
afternoon, isn't it? All right. Come on, little buddy. All right. And Ken. So, Kate will not be joining us. And Ken says, here's the doc. I'll throw that. I will throw that in the chat. There we go.
Thank you.
All righty. Those are some glasses, Lisa.
Thank you.
All right. And welcome, Mickey. Welcome, Carolina. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Katie.
Hello.
All right. So let's see here. As far as official business, honestly, just how did everybody's holiday go? That's kind of where we probably ought to start. Everybody doing okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Doing well here.
In this crazy time, I think that's actually the number one priority of all official and unofficial meetings.
Mhm.
So very good. Anybody have anything super fun or interesting to share?
So I got to spend my Christmas on quarantine, thanks to my school district.
Oh dear.
I got the call 2 days before we went on break to say, guess what? You're on quarantine for the next 10 days. And I got off quarantine 2 days after Christmas.
Ooh.
Don't recommend that for anyone. It is not a lot of fun to spend your Christmas vacation sitting in your family room, although I did watch a lot of TV.
What'd you get caught up on?
So I guess I watched, sadly, this is going to be sad. Everybody's going to cry now. The whole Outlander series was running. So that's pretty much what I watched the entire
Oh, that's
Christmas.
good.
And other random things and anything on Turner Classic Movies. Those were the two things that no news.
I approve.
News. It's no.
Yeah, no, just, oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we covered ourselves in glory there. But yeah, anybody else have anything fun and or interesting?
Well, how about a big welcome to Carolina?
Yeah,
There we
welcome.
go.
Yay.
Thank you, everyone. Happy to be here. Very happy to be here.
Thank you for joining.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know, is Ken planning on joining us? I know he was kind of sabbaticaling.
I thought so, but I don't think he really said specifically
I
would or
think-
would not.
I think that's reasonable. Ken can be on sabbatical, not a biggie. And the only other thing that I need to touch base with Dave Walsh again on the financial transfers. That, I mean, we talked about it, we touched base, thought we were moving forward. I just need to touch base with him specifically now that the holidays are over. So I don't know that needs to be agenda item, but that's kind of my official update as far as the finances go. All right. Ken is deciding whether or not run an open flip, but I am thinking my energy is too low for another. Honestly, we can maybe put a follow-up on Ken's point that the open flip was really good, but I'm willing to bet most folks are not going to join in any longer-term organized professional development till summer. Is that do you guys concur with that?
Yeah, I do.
I think so.
At least here in North America, because
Yeah.
like we're toast.
Yeah.
You know,
I wanted to, sorry.
I was just going to say, it might be, if we were still thinking about doing the conference, it might be a nice follow behind the conference, do the conference, and then the new folks
Yes.
offer up open flip for getting started for the fall, kind of as a dual, hey, you're new to this, you're interested. Oh, by the way, we have a free course laying here for you, or, for $25, you can get a certificate or whatever it is you want. But that might be kind of a natural partnership and order between the two.
I think that's a great idea, Katie. Kind of level up. Hey, introduced here, now level up. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
great. I also think there'll be a little bit more to share come the end of summer. Right now, we did our conference. What was that, in June?
Mhm.
Did we do that
Yeah.
in June? And at that point, we're all like, okay, so let's try to do this really well this year. And then all we've done is just run on the treadmill all year trying to do it. I honestly don't think we're going to have some really good new stuff until everybody can go, okay, what just
Mhm.
happened? What did we do? So I think that's a real good thing. So maybe even looking at fall there, because I'm wondering if we do an open flip thing, not an open flip, a conference. When do you guys think would be the best time?
I would think probably August or late July. I mean, not right away in June, because I think most people are just going to need to put it away. They're just going to need to be able to take the time off and just get a brain break, and exactly what you just said, let out the sigh and just kind of get their brains back on. I don't think people will be fully engaged enough until closer to the start of school.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's a good point.
And school starts here in August, so I'm going to
Yeah.
lean more towards the late July piece.
I agree with that too. And if I'm going to be stuck inside during part of the hottest part of the year, end of July is not the worst time to be stuck in the AC.
I agree.
How does that line up with breaks for South America?
It's okay. Teachers here have a break between June, July, so I guess it's gonna work okay. I just wanted to mention a couple things. So how is that different? I mean, the open flip is the one that Ken runs. And so how is that connected or not to what Kate is planning on doing?
Oh, that's a great question. Kate's is, I think, an ongoing asynchronous thing
Okay.
through Edmodo versus
Okay.
Ken, which is a more traditional online course. Is that a thing now? Did we just say that for real?
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
More than everything.
It's
Yeah,
like
but-
we're talking behind Ken's back if you use traditional and Ken in the same
This
sentence.
is whole.
That's not.
Look,
it
the
doesn't go
world
like
catches up to everybody eventually. But yeah, I mean, does that make sense, Carolina?
Yes, absolutely. And I just wanted to mention that, well, I'm in language learning, language teaching, foreign language learning and teaching. And currently we are doing EVO sessions, which are the Electronic Village Online with the TESOL Call IS. And we are doing two, like I'm part of two, which are the Flip Learning one. Yeah. And we're doing also SOFLA with Lane. So now we're doing, like, we're moving, flipping in those two courses, let's say. And we have people mostly from all around the globe, not Americans necessarily. So it's like we have people from Serbia, from South America, we have people from Europe, from all the places. So that's kind of moving things along. So I guess we could publicize it somehow through the Flip Learning Network, because actually we're using the Flip Learning Network materials. We mentioned, for example, the Flip Learning session is all constructed around the 4 pillars. So we could just publicize it there and we will have our first semester kind of thing with that.
If we could get a little bit more detail on that, yeah, I think that's something we absolutely should be promoting. Any
Okay.
thoughts on that?
Elaine did reach out to me just to suggest the same thing, basically, and I shared a post on social media, but I didn't really have content to post make some kind of a post on the site.
I can do that. If you want me to give you some text, you just let me know what you want, and I'll build one based on the 2 sessions since I'm part of both. So
Yeah, sure. Just put together whatever you want to kind of promote and raise awareness of it.
Okay.
And if you put it, if you publish something on your own site, you know, it'll sync over to our site.
Yes, I'll do it there.
All right, I'll try and keep an eye out for it because there are, to Matt's credit, he's got quite a few drafts out there that I have to kind of go through and make sure I'm doing the right one in the right order. But
I do
great,
try
though.
to number them.
no, oh yeah, no, and it's great because I'm able to put out a couple pieces of content every week for the most part.
No, I think that's a great idea, Caroline, because, and that's of course one of the goals here of bringing you on board, but also down the road to bring even more on board is to broaden it beyond the contiguous US, you know, because everybody does what they know. And so we need more perspectives of what people know.
Now, Flip Tech Latin America did give a lesson, and that is there are a lot of people interested in flip learning in Latin America. There are a lot of really good things going on here. And so we need, and that's something we talked about with Ken back in the conference, and it was, we need something in Spanish on the website because there's a lot going on, but most people are like social studies teachers, science teachers, you know, that they don't know English necessarily. And so we, like, I am in language learning, so I had to learn the language for my work, but then I discovered flip learning and it was this huge thing that works for everything. So we have been translating things around. We have been working in Spanish, workshops and all those things. But with Ken, we kind of like talked about it briefly. We need something on the website. We need presence there too, for teachers to feel there are resources for them as well, even if they are not English teachers, because it seems to be here like still a little bit that flip learning is kind of an English teaching methodology when it's not. It's just because we have access to it because we speak English. I don't know if this makes sense, but we are really working towards spreading the word as much as we can. That has, I mean, one of the implications of that is translating things, doing things in Spanish.
Yeah, we do actually have a international or non-English posts category, which is hardly got anything in it. But absolutely, as we start to populate that, I could then easily try and feature it more, you know, in a more obvious way on the site. What was the, just making the note in the minutes there, what is the name of the group through which you're doing this training right now? Did you say OTC?
EVO, which is Electronic Village
Okay.
Online.
Right.
The what is it? Call IS, like the call intersection from TESOL.
Gotcha. Nice.
Well, and Carolina, that's one of the, there's Mr. Bauer. That's one of the other things that do keep an eye out for, and both you and Ken have a good beat on this, or at least better than us, is for somebody to truly build resources that are Spanish focused, in most cases, they're going to need to come from a Spanish background. And so we would be happy to help create a satellite component, you know, put it all in the same thing, cross it over, but probably for administrative purposes or posting purposes, probably have to have somebody leading that charge in Spanish, because that's just not a skill that a lot of us have. But I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in on that.
Okay.
Oh, you know, we can, so Matt, there are a number of ways that I can choose to make a category, for example, prominent on the site. So, you know, right now you got your top menus, a featured post, then you got those scrolling sets of the most recent things, and then these kind of chunks of different types of content based upon the categories. So the top one could easily be, you know, please check out our new and growing international language posts or something like that. And in fact, it's really been quite a while since we've kind of visited the basic layout of the site, and might be time to freshen it up a little bit.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure, Kelly, you're like the rest of us. You're running to keep up in your own life too. So
Yeah, and I keep getting into more and more things. I don't know what is wrong with me.
but I think that's definitely an area we want to move toward.
Yeah.
And so I think we may go slowly and clumsily that way, but I think it's a start.
Yeah.
That's the goal. So Ken, just to catch you up real fast, we were discussing your open flip and what might be good timing for that. And Miss Katie suggested that maybe if we look at doing a online conference in late July, then the open course post that so that you get introduced, and then you get, here's a little deeper.
Yeah.
Here's a deeper opportunity.
That sounds good. And that sounds farther away, which is good because right now I'm
Better
just,
for you.
I'm tired, but I'm good.
Well, and that's kind of what we thought on maybe end of July on another conference, because we're all kind of toast and we're all going to need to debrief, decompress, etc. before hitting this thing again.
Yeah. And there's still going to be, most of us are still going to be online until 2022. So
Correct.
That's reality.
Really?
Of course. In Canada right now, which is, a first world country and has the highest level of vaccine buying, other than Israel, which spent a lot of money to get it fast. They're predicting the end of this year. And so countries in Latin America,
Oh, no.
no, we're not even at 0.2% in Mexico. So
Yeah.
this is reality.
Well,
So a lot of people are still going to be in, it's been a year and I got to figure out this online stuff. It's still going to be that way in the summer.
well, and from a US perspective, we're already starting to begin to hear people shouting from the mountaintops that you have to keep going. We got to go from here, not go backwards.
Yeah. And a lot of people will be shifting. Even if you can be in person, there's going to go, wow, there's some advantages to this. And there's going to be more people looking at doing it.
Well, and that's the thing. There's going to be, in the US at least, everybody was in and it was a mess. And a lot of people want to grab part of it back.
Yeah.
But the reality is, even when they go to grab it back, Pandora is out of the box.
Yeah.
And
July is probably late enough that I think they would have had some rest after the school year a little bit. Depends on scheduling, but early enough to be before their semester academic year starts. Northern Hemisphere,
I
of
think
course.
that's kind of our
Down south,
thought.
they're on a different thing.
Good.
Cool.
So I think that looks good. And also, guys, how big do we want to go on something like this?
I think the size we ran is a good goal.
I would,
Is that-
I
How
would
do you
say-
measure
I
the
would say
size?
where we were, dial it back about 20% maybe.
Yeah.
Because there were places where the cart was running away with the horse.
Okay. That makes sense. I think it'll be less stressful for everyone, especially for you, Matt, because it's been done once. We learned stuff.
Yeah,
But I don't think bigger is a good idea.
No.
right. No, I think focus and strategic may be some good buzzwords.
Yep.
Because at this point, if you can't screencast, I don't know what rock you've been under. If you can't send emails, again, what hidey hole have you
But
been
those
in?
sessions are so popular. It's amazing. Matt, the videos I make, and I think I gotta do something interesting, and people just want People want, how do I change the password on my Wi-Fi router? And I'm like, doesn't everyone know how to do this? 99% of the population do not know how to do this. So, and probably a lot of people here, like the real simple stuff does draw.
Yeah.
It's true. Sometimes it seems kind of silly, but it's super true.
Well,
and they know, Matt, it's just that they'll feel better if they see Carolina show them how she does it.
And I think
And then they go, that's how I already do it. I feel better about myself. We're good to go.
there is something to be said for that.
Yeah.
What, so as far as summer conference, I think we got that idea. If I even mention it too loud or too many times around my house yet, it will go poorly. So we'll table most of that till February. Just because, yeah, let's do that. But any other thoughts on the conference, guys?
No, I guess for February, we should definitely start about teasing it.
Well, yeah, and technically we already have teasers in all of our Flip Tech 2020 reviews.
Yep.
Right.
So, and those are going out while we're moving into this subject, Kelly. How many content pieces are we releasing a week broadly?
About 2.
Awesome. That's how do you feel about that pace?
Oh, it's fine. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's very little effort on my part. The hardest thing sometimes is just remembering, hey, you know, what have I put out there? Go out and grabbing one of your things. I do, not to put you on the spot, but if you could ever get somebody to kind of edit your pieces a little bit and read them, because, you know, we all make those little mistakes. And I'm going to, I hate the double space thing, but apparently that's just embedded in your.
The after the period?
Yeah. It's just, it makes weird raps. It's not a big deal. The bigger thing is just, and sometimes I do find little things and edit them a little bit. But I mean, you've been a champ in terms of just creating all those little pieces. So,
well, no, it's look, Kelly, I have both no pride and no shame. So feel free throwing it out there, because honestly, I just wanted it preloaded, because if we got to keep this stuff out there, I love the fact that we're syndicating more. Because there needs to be way more voices than one.
Yep.
But
I can do a couple too, because
I
haven't done much, honestly, but I did a bunch of webinars on Flip Learning last year. Oh my goodness, everybody now. I have been the lone wolf for so many years, but last year everyone is like, hi, Carolina, can you share that great thing, you know, about, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So,
well,
so I want to transform like those webinars into posts, and I can share the link to the webinar and the post. And so I will get on that.
Yeah.
Well, and Carolina, I have set the bar for that so low. Literally, it's just the YouTube videos that I make, and I put like 4 sentences, and a lot of them are the same copy and paste. So, you know, my thought is something out there is better than nothing out there. And that's what I'm doing, is I'm literally taking the training that I'm doing for these other things. I just chop them up into chunks and throw them out there.
Cool.
Kelly, are you looking for somebody to help with like copy editing kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, so with Matt's in particular,
it's not a bad idea, because some people would rather
I'm glad
do
to help with that
than make an original post, and that's cool.
Oh, I can definitely help you with any kind of copy editing you ever need.
So I don't know what the best, just in terms of flow, what's simple is when I publish it. Do you get the post through the email?
I don't, but I can make sure I do now.
Yeah,
some sort of subscription.
If you go and subscribe, and then when you see new posts come through, so there's a little subscribe thing on the right-hand side on the site. It's real easy. When you see something new come through, if you see any errors, drop me a line.
Okay.
You know,
Or just,
and we can start like that, because that's.
or we'll just give you edit privilege on the WordPress, and that's easy too.
Yeah, the challenge there is now we have to coordinate who's doing what when. And I'm obviously I'm trying to keep this super low.
I am happy to start whatever you're comfortable with. So I'll just do the subscribe. Fine. That works.
We'll do that and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay.
I have an idea, because I always sit down for like a couple hour blocks and put a bunch of stuff out and just blam, blast it. And what would be kind of cool is if Lisa, if she has edit privileges and sees a pile of drafts out there,
Yep.
simply go in and put her 2 initials at a specific place in the article when it's done.
Yep.
Okay.
When
Yeah,
she's
that can
looked
work.
at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just put it at the very end of the article so we can try
Sure.
that.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
just
I can walk you through that too, Lisa, if you need any help, and
but that way,
say yep.
that we say, oh, here's a whole pile of stuff. I'll just, because for
Yep.
an English person, it won't take that long to edit. And,
Right.
you know, if the English person is really wise, then she'll say, hey, this blurb that you used that's written poorly, use this one instead. And just use this blurb that's correct English, you know, and that would also be great, because again, no pride, no shame. I take all input.
Yep.
And
Ken, you'll
Lisa, since
set her up.
I publish from my blog, can I send it to you before I post it, just to make sure? So I'll need your email then. I'll find it
Absolutely.
from one of our communications. So I'll just send it to you before it's posted, because you know, foreign
Yeah.
language learner, always something you'll find.
Oh,
Well,
sure. I'm happy to do it. And I do have some familiarity, Kelly, with WordPress, because I've written some
Yeah.
movie reviews for a blog.
Yeah.
So I'm a quick learner. So whatever you want to show me, Ken, whatever you need me to do, Kelly, I'm happy to jump in.
Perfect. So yeah, Ken, if you just get something triggered out to her so she knows she's set up, and go ahead.
Yeah,
and
I think the best thing, and Kelly likes this, that he pushes the publish button, because I've done that once and I screwed it up.
Yeah, I'm.
But,
I won't do that.
But if you go in as an editor, it's actually really easy, because you just sort by all the drafts. You go, oh, look, there's some drafts. I'll go in and I'll edit these drafts and mark them that I edited them. I would say even put edited by Lisa, and put that in the article.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing, because you should have credit for doing that. And
Well-
then we see that, oh, Lisa already did this one.
That's
I
true. Yeah,
think-
that's a good approach.
You know, and additionally, that does allow Lisa, at some point, you can put that I am an editor for blah. I mean, you might as
Yep.
this is a free thing.
Do it.
Yeah.
You might as well get a credit somewhere, you
Yep.
know.
Sure.
It'll be good to have
Sounds good.
It'll be good to have some other eyes in there too. I flirt with the idea of I may walk away someday eventually.
No. Mute Kelly.
No rush, but you know, one of these days.
Yeah.
Carolina.
Yeah, I have a question about all this. Okay, so I remember there were some articles, like featured articles or something I wrote one like a zillion years ago, like 2017, I guess. We're not talking about those. We're talking about the syndicated blogs, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what about those articles? Are we still gonna be doing those? Why is that not, I don't know, is that part of the newsletter? I'm lost.
So we have, you know, content that you put on your blog, because I see stuff come over from you every now and then. Same thing with Mickey. You know, so we have, gosh, at least, I don't know, 20, 30, I don't know how many folks who have are set up so that it's automated, so that when they write a post, a copy automatically comes over to our site. Not a lot of activity there these days. It's varied a lot from time to time. So that's that and people writing directly like Matt does right on the site are our primary source of ongoing blog posts. And when those things get published, they push out to subscribers, and we've got email subscribers up. I forget how many, but it grew tremendously throughout the whole pandemic. And then I also post it to social media. So that's our kind of loop of how the content comes in and gets pushed out. There was that separate newsletter thing that Helen and I did for years. And then Andrew kind of picked up the mantle for a little bit.
That's
and then
a separate project, separate site.
yeah. And that's been inactive for a good year or so.
Okay.
But if anybody ever wants to drive that process a little bit more, we could do that. But that was time intensive on my part in terms of laying that out and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. So, okay. Well, wow. I think we accomplished quite a thing right there. Good job, everybody. Everybody give yourself a silent Zoom round of applause.
Yay.
Okay,
Yay.
very good. Everybody's learned how to clap quietly, stage clapping. So with that in mind, Kelly, and how's traffic been looking for us?
Good. I was trying to go. Let me see if I can click quick enough here and pull that up. Do all website data. Am I looking at the right thing? I think I am. Let's go to about a month or so. I love how Google Analytics just has to change things that you're used to.
And everybody has sharing privileges now. I just turned that on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't have the right data here. This isn't right.
While Kelly's looking, Lisa, I'll probably also, on those days that I put a bunch of stuff in, I'll shoot you either a tweet or something to say, hey, check site. That'd be
Perfect. Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. No,
That'll help keep me on task too.
While we're also looking here, Katie, flip class chat.
Yep. It's
Yep.
it is a weekly thing. Probably about, school's not in right now, so we've got our 2 or 3 newbies that pop in to meet their required show up in a Twitter chat for their class. That's not really happening, although we do have some that have stuck. We have a couple that keep coming back, met the requirement, and then they keep joining in. We have, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 people, something around 10 or less that are regulars. And I think that, we had 5 or 6 this last week. So probably back up to the normal numbers between now and the end of the month. I think the bigger struggle is coming up with topics that are reasonable. We've cut it back to 30 minutes, and that helps a lot because now we only have to have 3 questions ready to go instead of, dragging those last 2 questions along.
Well, and it's with the 30 minutes, we can always go over, but this way people, it's less of a commitment on their part.
Yeah.
It's the Twitter thing. Contrary to the political news of the last 2 weeks, the whole Twitter thing, the whole social media thing is shifting. And I just don't know where it's shifting to because I'm too old to know. But it's shifting somewhere. And I see the Facebook stuff is actually lighting up quite a bit more. I'm just not a Facebook person,
I agree, Matt, but I realized it just gets way more traffic.
Yeah.
It's the way it is. I fight it as much as I can. I will do my Facebook fee February as well again this year, but it's a massive fight.
Yeah.
So traffic wise, we're doing pretty good over where we were last year, but the massive spike we saw over the summer really tailed off gradually over the fall.
Yeah.
But overall, we're better off than we were a year ago, which should always be the objective.
Well,
I think what I've been seeing is a lot of people are sort of in this weird
When I
place
finish the
now
meeting, you
going
can have the
into
computer, buddy.
going into third quarter where they've tried the new things. The students are starting to lose steam. And so I think teachers are starting to lose steam where people are starting to revert back to, well, this is just easier. People are tired, like we've said. So I don't know, maybe something, I don't know about a little bit more on social media as far as saying, here's an easy way to do this. But I find more of the articles that I'm coming across more and more are how to increase student engagement. Like people have the videos, people have this, they have that. But if the students aren't doing it, this is where we're starting to run into trouble, I think. So I think maybe some of the traffic is just because of that, where everybody's just tired. A lot of people thought this was going to end sooner. Or people hoped it was going to end sooner. And we're just coming to the realization of that's not the case.
Well, and the other piece of the puzzle for the younger viewers, for high school, junior high, that kind of thing, because elementary school kids will do what the teacher tells them to do. The junior high and the high school kids, they are figuring out how to play the game without playing along.
Mhm.
That's the process. Now, college, you go, you're buying this. Do, don't do, there is no question. Whatevs. You know, it's the it's the junior high, high school with the engagement. Although I tell you what, my college kids, I'm still fighting some of them too. I have a meeting right after this where a kid goes, I don't understand how to get onto Canvas. I'm like,
Yeah.
So
I'm
I don't know if
finding
you-
that I think some of our kids are starting to go to the whole, they're hoping that this semester will turn out to be what last semester was, where they'll be given the credit because poor you dealing with this at-home pandemic thing. That's what I'm finding with mine anyway.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Kelly, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to show, you know, because we're thinking about that all the time. What can we do to make things more engaging? And one of the things that I found this portable whiteboard on a little tripod for like $70 on Amazon. And for me personally, it just changed how the whole thing feels. Because I sit here and I teach remotely. And just to be able to do this had a big difference in my mentality. And the kids kind of liked it. So we offered it to a bunch of folks. We have about 15 takers at the school. We're giving them these, and this improved what we call an eyeball camera. That's has more flexibility to what we can do with it. So sometimes just those little things can help make the teacher experience better, and thereby make the student experience better. But,
And your
Right.
camera point was key there, Kelly, because my son complained about the fact that his high school or his teachers is using whiteboard, except the camera sucks crap
Mhm.
and they can't see anything that's on the whiteboard.
Yeah.
Ah.
So yeah, it's all so tricky. And I'm with all this, you know, pro gear here, whereas most people just aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
But you're right. The engagement thing is that's huge. That I think that's probably the single biggest challenge we're
Yep.
all still facing.
Yep. So these will be still the same conversations in the summer, I guarantee.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of new people coming in that will be figuring it out too, like there always is. It won't be the same crowd as last year. Yeah. The simple stuff sells.
So
It helps.
yeah, it's hard to keep remembering that sometimes.
Mhm.
Let's see here. Okay, so traffic up. Oh, the other comment I was going to make for traffic was that would be another really good reason to make sure we have a summer something so that we get another spike, so that if we hang on to a few of them again, we'll be in better shape. You know, just I think previously when it was the John and Aaron show, events drove the group. We don't have John and Aaron, but I think events still kind of drive the joiners.
Mhm.
Yep. Small ones to big ones.
Yeah.
Chast to a conference. It does.
You know, you guys were talking about the easy thing, you know, something that might be worth throwing into any of the stuff that we're doing, and that would be the Twitter chat all the way up to the conference and beyond, would be people are doing online stuff now. How to take what you're already doing and turn it into flip learning. You know, here are the things, you know, we've got, you know, you're not really doing flip learning until you do this, but instead of approaching it that way, say, here are the things you're already doing. If you add this piece to it, look at what you've already done and bought into, and how much you would get from it. I mean, that would be, you know, the engagement piece and some of the others. But if we can kind of look at stuff from that point of view, that might be helpful to a lot of the folks that are hovering around out there. You know, I'm already online. I'm trying to figure out how to make this better. You know, I want some easy. I don't want to rebuild everything. And the reality is, like you said, they're screencasting, they're emailing, they're doing all those bits and pieces. But how do you take that whole thing and build it into something that's meaningful? And maybe that might be one of the, I'm not sure how to go from there, but just kind of thinking along those lines, because I know that has popped up a couple of times in the Twitter chat, people that aren't flipping yet, but how do I, knowing that I'm doing this now, how would I start flipping from here? And all of us started flipping from a traditional classroom, or most, but I didn't start flip. And so I was ready to go online because I'd already, I went the other direction. I had all these pieces already. So online was pretty smooth. Still not perfect, obviously needs more work, but it wasn't a big learning curve for that. Well, they've already come up all that learning curve. How do you take that piece and go back?
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. And realize you can't squish what a lot of us learned in 10 years into a course or even a year.
Right. No, it's,
Can't.
I mean, yeah, it's ongoing because that's what
Everyone's
we
got
all do.
their
We all
process.
keep learning, but I mean, it's just, and it's, for me, I found it a hard shift to kind of figure out what that looks like, but you guys are smart. Maybe you can help with that.
It's tricky. I'll do my sale farewell. I know at least Carolina, it's in the notes there if you have it open. I need your email address so you can have access to the Flip Learning Network Google Docs. So I assume it's the Gmail. I assume it's the Gmail that we're sending email to you already, but I don't like to ever assume because different people use different addresses for different things.
That's the one.
Okay, then I'll add that. And I'll check Lisa's as well. Because I'm guessing it's the same. Okay. I
Yep,
had that
same one.
administrative. And if anyone does want an @fliplearning.org account, you can have one. You can use it separately. It's a Google Mail account and just have it separated completely. Me personally, I hate that because I forget to check. So I just set it up to forward, which can be done as well.
Mickey, how's the year going?
Not the same as everybody else's, but it's good. And about the time I came on board here, our state math initiative, they asked people around the state, but I'm on a committee where it's really curating curriculum. They called it writing curriculum, but we're curating curriculum for our new standards for next year. So I'm on the Accelerated 8 team. And that of our team of 4, 2 quit, and so there's 2 of us now.
Oh dear.
So that's been hot and heavy and getting hotter and heavier, but just one day at a time and get done what I can get done each day, and it is what it is. But like everybody else, it's crazy, but we're making it.
Kelly, this might be something that is up your alley, but I've spent the last few months putting together, because the college has so much CTE need. I've been putting together, how do you train professionals to teach as adjuncts? I've developed, and so the 25th, I start doing a course with 10 people on teaching them how to teach. So that's at the college adjunct level. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to have those hard conversations of shop conversation is not classroom conversation. Auto body conversation does not equal auto body classroom conversation.
Yeah, no, if you create any content from that, I'd be curious. That's one of my pet peeves at the school, is always just trying to figure out how to better embrace the adjuncts. I mean, it's such a important yet unusual role. I mean, they're so removed. So how do you really kind of make them part of the family and understand the resources available to them? But that alone, I mean, there's very little in the way of teaching them how to teach.
Yeah, it is a little tough, but yeah, no, I start an 8-week course starting on the 25th. I'll let you know how it goes. It could be unique. After 20 years of adjuncting myself, I got the call on that. So
yeah, that's great.
All right, guys, what else do we need to talk about this month? Honestly, I'm pretty psyched with where we're at right now.
Yeah.
We seem to be holding our own a little better than we have in a few periods in the past. And it looks like we have at least some reasonable, actionable plans to move forward.
Definitely.
All right, guys, I will put this up on YouTube and I will put the link in the notes.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
It's good.
I
Thank
just-
you, guys. And again,
They're
welcome
all-
Carolina. Welcome again, Mickey.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for everyone else who's been here for so long.
All right,
you.
thanks, Matt.
Watching the football games, enjoy them. I'm gonna.
See ya, see ya.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Mickey, I'll get you, if you're still there, Mickey, do you have a preferred Google address to share this folder to?
If
Google
you will
Drive?
share it to my school,
So,
MGibs,
So let's see, it's probably the one we're sending email to, the
yes,
ArabCitySchools.org.
yes,
Okay, cool. I'll do that right now while I'm at it.
okay.
And